Today, I'm going to talk about NimBus and new features in NimBus, features and updates. So before we start, I would like to remind you that NimBus is our public transportation app, which helps to track and monitor different types of transportation. And the agenda of our webinar today includes the following topics. The first is we added our new feature, which is called You're Here in the Locator link. The second point is that we added new statistics in the reports. And the last but not least is we added the estimated time of arrival of the next bus in the Locator link. So I'm going to talk about You're Here feature first. You're Here feature is available in the Locator link, which is generated in NimBus, and it shows your current location. But it only shows your current location on the map if you're willing to share your location, if you allow to use your GPS data. If you're okay with that, then you will be able to find yourself on the map. Here you can see an icon, and I circled it in red color. So this is how you can find yourself. Another great thing is that you can also find the available transportation around you and stops. So this will help you to visualize the closest stop to you and find the bus routes, or not only bus, any type of transportation routes around you. I'm going to show you later this feature in our NimBus app. We also added new statistics in the reports. And those new statistics are directly related to the rides of a unit. Before I continue, I would like to refresh what a ride is. A ride is a trip of a vehicle from the place of the departure to the destination along a specific route and in accordance with the assigned schedule. There might be different rides of a unit. So we added this top panel in the reports for the rides of a unit, which summarize the number of planned rides according to the schedule, the fulfilled rides, the not fulfilled rides, also the average deviation from the schedule, the rides that were completed behind the schedule, ahead of schedule, and also on schedule. This window, this top panel, can be expanded, and you will get more detail about all of those categories I mentioned. So now I'm going to discuss each of them in detail. So the first is total number of planned, fulfilled, and not fulfilled rides for the specific route and unit. That's the first, or the leftist part of that panel. Again, there were 59 planned rides according to our schedule created in advance. 43 of them are fulfilled, or 73%, and 16 of them were not fulfilled. So this gives you the snapshot of, fulfilled and not fulfilled rides for that particular unit. General statistics. The second category, the second and the third category, is average deviation from the schedules for fulfilled rides and the number of rides with units ahead, behind the schedule, or in time. That's the second part of that bar. And you will see that we, in the expanded view of this feature, we actually added some color coding. So we see that the average deviation was 5 minutes for the rides, starting from 2 minutes and 11 minutes. 6 of the rides were behind the schedule. It means that they were completed later. 34 were ahead of the schedule, and only 3 rides were completed on schedule, on time. So this helps you to analyze how that bus and the bus driver completed the rides. Either the bus driver was in a hurry or was late. The next statistics that we added is actually related to the status of the rides. And this is in addition to our newly introduced feature, fulfillment of the rides setting. So I'd like to remind you that before, the rides had only two statuses, fulfilled and no-show. Fulfilled rides were considered to be rides where one stop was at least visited. That was not accurate. If one stop is visited, the ride cannot be considered fulfilled. No-show, when the unit did not show up at the bus stop at all. So after we introduced this fulfillment of the ride setting, we now have three statuses: fulfilled, not fulfilled, and no-show. So we added not fulfilled. And it is really up to you to consider, it's really up to you to decide what you consider to be a fulfilled ride, not fulfilled ride, and no-show, according to this new feature. So if we look at the report, we will see this column on the right, stops. So I set in my user settings of the NimBus app that I consider a ride to be fulfilled if 50% of the stops was visited by the unit. We see that there are 14 stops in total. The first two rides are not fulfilled because only 5 and 6 stops out of 14 were visited by the bus. Remember, I put the setting as 50% of the stops. The third one is fulfilled because at least 50% of the stops were visited by the bus. So 7 is actually 50% of 14. So the status changed to fulfilled. Again, it is up to you to decide what ride you consider to be fulfilled or not. And I will show you later, I will demonstrate in NimBus app how to do that. The last but not least feature that we added is the estimated time of arrival of the next bus in the locator. Passengers who receive the locator link will get an estimated time of arrival. And you will be able to see the estimated time of arrival in two ways. The first, if you start typing the route number or the bus stop, you will see the two columns open. For example, this bus stop, NS4, is your bus stop. And you see that the next bus is coming in 30 minutes and the bus after this in 40 minutes. The estimated time of arrival is calculated using the delays or early arrivals of the unit at previous stops. You can also find the estimated time of arrival of the next bus if you hover your mouse over this bus stop. You find it on the map and you will see that at the bus stop NS4, the next bus is coming in 30 minutes and the bus after that in 40 minutes. So this is a very useful feature. Okay, so this is how the newly introduced estimated time of arrival logic looks. Before we just had the scheduled estimated time of arrival. So here are 7 bus stops, and we will see that the bus is coming in every 10 minutes. For example, the bus stop number 1, the estimated time of arrival of bus 1 is 9:20. So that was our old feature. Then we introduced the new logic, and we see that something happened at bus stop 5, that there was a delay. There was a deviation from the schedule by 5 minutes. So the next estimated time of arrival for bus stops 6 and 7 will be recalculated, and delayed 5 minutes will be added. So we see that this is the schedule, and the red highlighted, the colored in red, estimated time of arrival is the new feature. Okay, now let me show you how these features work in our NimBus app. Oops, apologize for that. Okay, so this is our NimBus app. The first feature I would like to demonstrate is the "You are here" feature. So you go to your settings, you go to the administration, you choose your NA demo. This is our demo account, your locator link, and here is your locator link. So I would like to open this locator link in an incognito window to show you that my permission to share my GPS data was actually asked. So you see, I copied and pasted in advance this link, and NimBus asks me if I would like to share my location, and I allow it. And here I am, sitting in our office in Boston, in our Gurtam office in Boston. So then exactly the same thing will happen if you're using Locator link on your smartphone. First, it will ask you if you'd like to share your location, and then you will find yourself on the map. The second feature added, the second update, is regarding reports. So you go to Reports tab, you choose your unit, and you want to see the reports for those for the unit rides. So I'm in Massachusetts. I'm choosing my bus. I'm setting the date, and I hit execute. And here are the stats for the rides of bus number 1 in Massachusetts. Again, so you can expand or you can close this newly added panel with the summarized snapshot of the rides for that unit. So we see that during the 2 days, yesterday and today, my bus had 75 planned rides, 52 fulfilled, 23 not fulfilled, 6 minutes of average deviation, 7 rides were completed behind the schedule, 42 were ahead of schedule, and 3 on time. And you can see also the statuses of the rides not fulfilled, fulfilled on the right side. Okay. And the next feature I would like to introduce, to show, is the estimated time of arrival. So again, I'm going to my administration, going to my locator link, click on it. So here I am, as you already saw, and I need to find the closest stop for me. So this is the closest stop. So I'm clicking on this stop, and I see the bus route, which is close to me, visually close to me. And I see that the next bus is coming in less than 1 minute. So I click on it, and I will see all of the bus stops on that bus route and the closest to me, and all the estimated times of arrival. I can also hover my mouse over this closest bus, visually closest bus stop to me, and it will also give me the time. If you go to the user settings, you can scroll all the way down, and here you will see the fulfillment of rides, the newly added feature. So here you put the percentage of the stops that you would like to visit, you would like your unit to visit in order to consider the ride completed. So for example, you want to set 80%. Oh, sorry, 80%. So 80% is set. It means that your rides will be considered completed or fulfilled if 80% of the stops were visited.